BBC Radio 6 Music.
So this week it's my pleasure to welcome Morgan Howell, also known as SuperSizeArt, to Social Recall, who produces giant three-dimensional paintings, 7-inch singles. And the new book is Morgan Howell at 45 RPM. And Morgan, welcome to 6 Music.
Hello, Nemone. How are you doing? All right?
Yeah, really good. Good to have you here. So the book really is a dedication to a certain musical era, isn't it? And the covers of the 7-inch singles that kind of resided therein. And they've been, they're special to the people who've commissioned them, like Mellor, Shaun and Eddie Pillar, who we'll hear more about. But describe what's in the book, describe the covers and how the whole project came about.
Well, I've been, I suppose I've been painting portraits of these objects now for about 10 years. And I started off with my own records, you know, songs that were like in the house before I was born, you know. I've got big sisters. It's just sort of gone on from there, really. I mean, I'm just fascinated with the sort of root of things and the history of things. And I'm not at all interested in sort of mint copies. The records that I paint are very well used and wrinkled and torn, and they've got names written on and all that sort of stuff. So
yeah, they've got kind of exactly like labels, haven't they? Sometimes, like the sort of the cost of them and the kind of the dogged sort of side. And you've actually represented that in the artwork. It's beautiful.
Well, thank you. But I mean, that was always really important for me right from the start, because it's you know, the reason I did it in the first place. Of course, I love the songs. But it's just the memories that come with them, really. And, I sort of realised quite early on it was a sort of an important thing. So anyway, what we've done, it's about 10 years worth of work here, but there's about 95 paintings. And each one is, beautifully photographed in the book. And then there's a contribution from 95 people from all walks of life, describing what that song has meant to them, what that record has meant to them, and the things that it's brought out of them that they're completely forgotten about, which is wonderful.
Well, it sounds like some of those conversations are amazing, because there's a contribution from Dr. Julia Jones, and she writes about the Shadows and Wonderful Land, saying that the record transports her back to obviously listening to her parents playing the Shadows albums by the fireplace in the living room in the 1970s. But she talks about the kind of neuroscience of it and songs being glued to memories of things we experienced when we were first exposed to them.
It's nuts. That part of it blows my mind. And of course, that was nowhere near what I was thinking when I just shows you how an idea can grow.
Exactly. Exactly.
But the fact that other senses can be glued to music, I can kind of understand that. But what I didn't properly grasp was that if somebody looks at one of my paintings, well, for a start, it's bigger than you expect, so that sort of makes your mind go a bit crazy, like, what the hell am I looking at? Yeah,
exactly. It's supersized.
You get people that smell stuff and taste stuff before they actually remember the memory, if you see what I mean. Yeah. So that's fascinated me. And Julia just kind of summed that up beautifully.
Oh, she did. She talks about the neurochemicals and the strong memory formation, and actually how music is a magical gift, which is why obviously it's a lifeline for those living with dementia in later life.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we've all heard stories of people that don't know their name and what day it is, but when a song comes on, they're back there. They know all the lyrics, they can sing it. People can sort of play stuff on piano when they can't do anything else. So it's extraordinary, really.
Oh, and some of the conversations you've had, you've said you've laughed, you've cried. I mean, it's triggered so many different things just simply from talking about this artwork and the music and the records.
Yeah, but also I think when I started on this whole project, I was just concentrating on painting them, and I'm a sort of a graphic designer.
You're visual,
yeah, that's it. So the design of the things has always fascinated me. I just love the fact that probably industrial designers, because a lot of the record companies were owned by electrical companies, so it's probably the same people that designed your Electrolux instructions.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly, and the lettering and everything.
Yeah, that's it. But there's something about the style of the lettering, and then there's the difference between the the UK sleeves and then the American ones. Sometimes far more glamorous. So that was the side that I was really into, and it was only really when we started looking at all of the wonderful contributions that we had with this book, where another sort of underlying sort of story emerges, really, which is like all of our history.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a social and political and everything kind of chart of that era, isn't it, of the music? So you've chosen, I mean, again, like we've done with the People's Playlist, we've asked you to condense it into a few songs, which is a bit tricky, but why have you chosen a couple of these tracks, and what are the stories behind them for you?
Okay, well, I mean, we start off with one of the very earliest ones from, I think it's 53, which is Tipatina, which is just a delightful song, and it never gets played on the radio, so that's,
bingo, good place to start.
Also, it looks beautiful, and it took me quite a long time to track down the right sleeve, at least I think it's the right sleeve. So we start off with that, and then we move on to Ketty Lester and Love Letters, and oh, what a fantastic song. Yeah. Absolutely beautiful. And the piano sound in that, I know that I heard that Elton John tried to replicate it because it's just got such a magical sound to it. And I'm a bit of an old romantic, so that's on there.
And then we go through to David Bowie and then Prince you wind up with. So why that one?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I really wanted to sort of go with Prince. Obviously, we lost him a few years ago, and I had to research this one because I only sort of really paint company sleeves. So I didn't want to paint a portrait of Prince, which was what on the UK covers. But I managed to track down an Australian one. And what really interests me with that is it has a beautiful sort of flower on the label, which kind of sums Prince up, really. It's this sort of little creative tour de force, but he's surrounded by the WA corporate record company sort of imprisoning him.
It's a bit of a juxtaposition. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, Morgan, it's
bookends with that one,
It's an absolutely wonderful look and read, and we're about to find out. Listen, I will try and tweet some of the pictures now so that people can hear and see, what we're hearing as well. But thank you so much.
If anybody wants a weapon, they can whack somebody around the head with a book because it weighs a ton.
Oh my
It's also the same size as an album as well, so that it can slot in with the record collection.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, go in the vinyl shelves.
Don't throw these things together.
Well, tons of luck with it. Thank you so much for sharing. We look forward to the Social Week.
Thanks for having me on.
Cheers, you. Bye.